Would you like to become a fascinating personality, break free from plateaus, and gain power over your mental resources and your full potential? You came to the right place. Welcome to a magical journey to yourself. This show is made in Germany. If you like the show, please subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or puremindmagic.club. Welcome to Season 1, Shaping Your Reality. And here is your host, international magician, speaker, and book author, Victoria Mavis.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Pure Mind Magic and the Interview Friday. Before we start the interview with an amazing and powerful business lady, Amanda Bayerle, I wanted to inspire you with a platform I have found in UK where you can post jobs in any area and then get proposals for it. So it can be done remotely or in case when you are in UK, even directly on location. It's really a great platform with a very intuitive surface. So I work with it at the moment all the time. And the cool part is I generated a link for you. And when you use it, you get £30 off your first purchase. I think this is really cool. So try it out if you like. But now let's get back to the interview. I found Amanda Bayerle through her podcast that she is doing with her husband Nicals together, and the podcast is called The $1 Billion Body. I thought that is really an amazing title, and this podcast is packed full with so much inspiration and motivation. Basically, most of the time around how to build your $1 billion body that you are equipped for success in any area of your life. But they also have great interviews and they do couple episodes, and it's just amazing how they work together and they inspire you. And I'm happy that I could make it possible to bring her on the show today and talk with her how she went through all the struggles she was facing and created this beautiful life she is living right now. So prepare to hear an interesting story together with a lot of wisdom. Here is for you, Amanda Bayerle. Hi, Amanda. What is going on in San Diego today?
Hey, Victoria. It is warm and sunny here right now. This is August and September are the hottest months here. So it's really hot, but I love it. I love living here. And how's Germany? What's the weather like there?
Yeah, it's actually the same. It is really, really hot at the moment in Munich. So it's hard to stand without air conditioning.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for having me on the show. I'm excited to provide some value to your listeners.
Well, thanks, Amanda. I'm glad having you here, and I was kind of chasing you. Not so easy to get you at an interview date because I know you're very busy. You're doing a lot of amazing stuff, and today we're gonna reveal something of that to the listeners and maybe to give them kind of a feeling what you're doing. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm glad we made this happen. When I was looking on your scheduling, some of them were at like 2 a.m. I'm like, I can't do an interview at 2 a.m. And even 7. I'm training myself on being more of a morning person. So even doing like a 7 a.m. interview is quite a lot for me because I have my whole morning routine and everything like that. So I'm glad I'm here. And so basically I'm an entrepreneur. I've been married for almost 6.5 years to my husband, Nicals. And when we got married, we just got into business together. And we were always very entrepreneurial before we met. And so when we got married, we'd never thought of working apart from each other. And at a time we did have to in, the last 6 years, because entrepreneurship wasn't as easy as we thought. We actually had success really quick and then we lost it all. And so now we're on the other side and we're growing, and it's been amazing. And so we have a company called the $1 Billion Body, and we have a community called the Brotherhood, and we are really just empowering businessmen to have success in all areas of their life. You see a lot of guys out there, and they chase the money, and in return for chasing the money, they lose their health. They don't take care of their health. They don't sleep. They don't eat healthy. They drink a lot. They, just don't live a healthy lifestyle. And then they also neglect their relationship, or they just never get a relationship because they're so obsessed with the money rather than really what brings happiness. And so we teach these guys on what it means to be a three-dimensional businessman, and that's having success in your business, having success in your relationships, and having success in your health. And when you can focus on all these three things, then that really brings you fulfillment, doing what you love with who you love and having great health. Because if you don't have a good relationship, then that's going to, impact your happiness, because you're going to be lonely. And then also, if your health is bad, it's kind of hard to do anything if you don't feel good. So, we really encompass the whole holistic aspect of a man's life. We also have we talk a lot about relationships together, my husband and I. So we have a podcast called The $1 Billion Body, and every Friday we do a power couple episode, because we have a lot of guys in the community that work with their wives or, are married and they want to know how to do business together. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
Oh, that's an amazing concept, Amanda. And it sounds to me like you're helping this businessman to get all areas of their life into alignment. So I think this is just fantastic. But to get back to your personal story, you said you had all this success together with your husband and then you lost everything. Can you tell us what was this dark period about and what helped you to get through and start it all over again?
Yeah, so we actually got started in network marketing because that was the easiest business to start back then. And we actually hit like bigger ranks really fast. So, when you hit a rank in a network marketing company, you get a car. And then if you don't, they pay for the car when you're hitting that rank. But then when you don't hit that rank, you have to pay for the car. So we actually got a German car, BMW, which is great. And it was a really, really nice car. And we were, living, just traveling and living full time off this income from network marketing. And then after about a year, our income started to go down. One thing is that our team got taken away from us. And so all the money that we were making from our team was no longer there. So we were struggling for a long time. We didn't know how we were going to pay rent. And then we just realized we got to go. My husband had to go get a job. I was already working a job to try to just make ends meet and try to still grow the business. And then, we had to rebuild from that, and we over leveraged ourselves. And it's not a good place to know, you can't afford to live in San Diego. San Diego is really pricey. And so we literally lived in the cheapest apartment in San Diego because that's all we could afford. And that was even hard. So needless to say, that went, we had a whole year of really, really doing well. And then, a couple months of what are we going to do? And then we kind of left. We figured out that we didn't want to continue doing network marketing and said, okay, we're going to learn the skills to actually build a real business.
That's really an inspirational story, I think. And while you went through all of that, it sounds like you did kind of a transformation process with all that, what happened to you. What would you say, what was the change in your mindset from having to work this job and staying in this small apartment to coming up with this decision, we are going to build our own business?
The mindset shift was that I can't give up on my dreams. When I was 18 years old and we got into that network marketing company, I said that I was going to make $1 million before I was 25, and I was going to arrive by 25. It was a saying back then. And even though it wasn't working out and no one really believed that we would do it, I still held on to it. And I just hustled. I was like, I'm not giving up on my dreams. I'm going to make this happen. I'm not going to let circumstances keep me down. You know, I was only 19. So I was like, I still have time to make this dream happen. And I just have to figure out how. And so that's when we really got into learning and growing and just figuring out what we wanted to do and learning from all these different people, going to lots of events. And thankfully in San Diego, there's a lot of events going on. There's a lot of amazing entrepreneurs. So we were able to build our network of really amazing people fast. And so, you know, we were working all day long and then going to entrepreneurial events at night and, you know, just kind of embarrassed, like, oh, I have to go to my job in the morning, when other entrepreneurs were like, I'm building my business all day long. And that's what I wanted. And so finally it got to a point where my husband was like, Amanda, do you think you can make more money focusing on the business than going to your day job? And I said, I believe I can. Like, I was starting to get clients and stuff. And this is when we were doing all health coaching. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And it was scary. But I quit my job, and then that month, like, I made the most amount of money, and then we just kept going from there. And now I'm here today, and our business has evolved, and I believe that what we're doing right now is really something we're extremely passionate about, and it's making a really big impact. And so we're excited to keep going with this.
Wow, that is really motivational. So when anyone is listening at the moment who wants to start their own business, what would be your best advice to get started?
To get started is, one, you are your business for the most part. If that's kind of, you know, what you're going after, is you want to have something very purposeful. You're probably going to be involved in the business. You're probably going to be the one selling yourself and going and promoting what you're doing. And so one is, you have to figure out, what is your story, and figure out what are the things that you struggled with? What are the things that you've had to overcome in your life? And how can you help other people do that exact same thing? And for us, when we got into health coaching, we personally were extremely unhealthy back in the day. I grew up eating very, very bad food. I was overweight. Nicholas actually was extremely overweight in high school and was considered obese. And so we both had major health transformations, and we realized that, hey, we actually know a lot about health. We can help other people create this transformation too. And so for you and your business, what's something that you personally have struggled with? What are your skills, your talents, your abilities, and how can you help other people with that specific result that they want? And then, you know, you just have to survey people on exactly what they want, what they'll pay for, how much they'll pay for it. And that's where, you know, trial and error comes in, is, you know, figuring out who you really want to serve. So, you know, for you, Victoria, you're doing speaking engagements, you're helping people craft their message, you know, putting magic into their speaking. And so you probably have a story, and you can use other people's stories of their speaking doesn't really capture an audience. It doesn't entertain them. You know, it just kind of is like an average talk, but you want to help people put the magic in their talk. And so that's the result that you can give people. So now you just have to figure out, who is that person? Is it men? Is it women? Is it new business owners? Is it people that have been speaking for a long time? Like, you just have to figure out, who is your people that you're going to serve, and how much are they willing to pay for it? And then that's where you have, you know, the beginning stages of your business.
That is really clear advice, and I think you can apply that on any business field. So because you have this clear structure on all of that, is there any way for the listeners to be able to get coached by you? Do you provide something like that?
Right now, I don't do any coaching. If for me, I want to know what people are asking of me, and then I'll create something. So once you get to a certain point and you're focused and you're so busy, you do things based on what other people are asking for. And that's where your market research comes in, is like, okay, I keep getting this question about how to start a podcast. So I'm going to create a course on how to start a podcast, or I'm going to sell someone else's. So at this point, I am not doing any coaching, just because I don't get a ton of requests for it right now, of people really interested. But if I, had a lot of people and it was a right fit, I would take them on if I believe that I could really help them. What we do in our business, I'm the COO. So I'm really good with systems. I'm really good with your vision. I'm good with, just like the daily tasks. I am the project manager. I'm the event planner. So I do a lot of different things. So if I believe that I could really help someone in my expertise, I would.
I like that. That's really good. And also, again, very clear. So let's move a little bit to the health side, because you mentioned before, when you are not healthy and feeling good, no good results will come about. And what are your best tips for the listeners to improve the health?
So number one would be to drink water. It's a very, very simple thing. It's something that we always joke about, but it can be easily forgotten. When we are busy and we're not focusing on hydrating. Hydrating is how our body functions. And so our organs, our skin, we have to have water to survive. You can only last like 4 days without drinking water, and then everything starts shutting down. And so, energy levels will go up when you drink water. You'll feel more mental clarity. Your digestion will be better. Just so many things. So, concentrate on drinking water every single hour, at least 8 ounces, which I don't know you guys use a different measuring system in Germany. But drink, just like a cup of water every single hour. Everyone eats differently with their nutrition, but, figure out what makes you feel good and do that. For me, I do really good with more of a paleo style diet. And I stay away from dairy. I stay away from a lot of different grains and such like that. So follow something that fits with your nutrition. The biggest thing with your health is treating yourself like a king or queen. And if it's not high quality, if it's not going to help your body, why are you putting it in your body? And there are some times when you can indulge in such like that. Like I drank wine last night. I really enjoy wine a lot. And so find the things that you absolutely love, but be conscious of what you're putting in your body. And then the last thing would be to get physical activity. A lot of your listeners are, business owners, want to be business owners. And so when you're in stressful situations, when you're dealing with a lot of emotions, it's really, really good to get that out with physical activity. Your brain actually processes a lot of your thoughts while you work out. So it's just really good to move your body every single day and to get strong. I think that as humans, we can actually prevent a lot of injuries, a lot of pain in our body if we actually use it. The saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And so every single day, do something that's active, that gets your heart rate up, and your energy levels will be better. You'll sleep better. There's just so many things.
Fantastic. I never heard this before, that the brain processes thoughts while you're working out. I think this is really a high valuable tip and a good motivation really to work out like every day or at least 5 days of the week. So you built together with Nicals, your husband, this amazing concept of the $1 billion body, and your podcast has the same title. So what made you came up with this title?
Well, originally it was because we were in health coaching and we wanted people to look and feel like $1 billion. And I feel like $1 billion body, just our bodies, you can't buy them. Everyone is born with a unique body. And, a lot of people, even Steve Jobs, who created Apple, he would have given $1 billion to have another year of life, but he couldn't. And that's how, you can't put a price tag on your body. And so it's treating it like it's worth more than $1 billion, treating it like you should treat your body better than your house, better than your car. A lot of guys treat their car better than their body. And that's unfortunate because their car is only worth, $50,000, $100,000, and yet they're treating their body that's worth more than $1 billion worse than that. So that's how we came up with it. And then now it's kind of evolved into $1 billion body is you as a person. Like, I am $1 billion body, and, owning that and feeling it and empowering yourself.
Yes, I like this idea behind it. And I think when you have this really healthy body that is functioning on every level and you are full of energy, then it is your body that can help you make $1 billion, right?
Exactly. And a lot of billionaires, which is sad, actually don't treat their body very well. And yeah, they have a lot of money, but like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they don't eat very healthy. They don't really work out. And it's just sad to see that they care more about money than their health when, your health affects everyone. I never got to meet my grandpas because they both died before I was even born. So your health affects your family and your friends. So, treat your body right and you'll have a greater legacy, I believe.
Yes, you're right. So the body is a key element together with being healthy. So Amanda, do you have any tips for us? What would be good rituals that would fit in an everyday life routine?
Yeah. So the first thing is sleep. Scheduling in your sleep, making sure that you are being rested every single night. I personally get about 7.5 to 8 hours every single night, whatever works for you, at least over 6.5 hours. That way that your body and your hormones can actually replenish. I'm really sciencey, and so your hormones, like your testosterone, which women have, your adrenals, your thyroid, everything like that, it gets replenished when you sleep. And so when you go a long time without sleeping, you start depleting those, and then you start getting more tired, and then you have other health issues. So every single day, get sleep, get rest, wake up and drink water. I would drink at least, 2 cups of water right when you wake up, because you just went a long time without drinking water and your body is dehydrated when you wake up. So drinking water in the morning, I think that showing gratefulness, giving gratitude is so important for our mindset and how successful we're going to be in life. If you are ungrateful and you don't focus on the good, you're just going to attract more of the bad. What you focus on increases. So every single day, show that you're grateful, whether you're talking about it, whether you're thinking about it or praying about it or writing it down in a journal. Focus on the good that's happening in your life. Focus on what you want to happen. Focus on your dreams. Don't focus on all the stuff that is going bad or that you don't have. So I truly believe in the power of your thoughts become a reality. A lot of the stuff that I have in my life right now, I had a dream about, I thought about it, and now I have it. And so I believe that everything that I want in my life is going to appear because everything that I've focused on in the past has as well. You know, I got married to an amazing man. We built this business. I bought these certain things. I have this certain house. I have this car. And it's crazy to think that first started with a thought. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, that is exactly how you make magic happen, right?
Yes. So I totally am a big believer in that. So every single day, give gratitude, focus on what your goals are, your dreams are. And then I think that doing some learning every single day is really, really good. However you like to learn, whether it's through this podcast, whether it's through reading a book or watching a YouTube video, you know, invest in yourself and your education and to, you know, grow. And then I also believe in surrounding yourself with great people. You know, if there's any toxic people in your life, if there's people that are bringing you down, you know, at certain points, you just have to minimize or just completely get rid of those people because who you surround yourself with, you become. So if people are negative and, you know, adding a lot of chaos into your life and it's not helping you, then, you know, I would get rid of those people or at least be like, hey, you know what, I'm only going to see you on certain holidays or something like that. So, you know, just being around really good, encouraging people is something that I live by, and it's a ritual. And thankfully, I live by my family. And, you know, now we have social media, so I can talk with some great people over the phone or on Instagram or whatever. So having those rituals, I think, will change your life. It's changed my life.
That is really good advice again, Amanda. And I found on I think it was your Facebook site, you had this nice quote, your results are a reflection of your thoughts.
Yeah, you are very good with detail. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I just posted that, I think like 2 weeks ago on Facebook. And it's true. It really is.
Yeah, so that brings kind of all that together, what you just said. And I think you are the living proof that this kind of, let's say magic as a metaphor really works because you had all these things in your mind that you are surrounded by now, even if it's your car or your house or your husband, whatever, and all the business you created. So I think this is really motivational. So talking about learning all the time, do you have for the listeners a good book tip, something you really loved reading?
You know, there's so many great books out there. There really are. I like to take, you know, experts, I think, of certain books. It depends on what season that you're in right now. I think one of the first book that I read in personal development that really changed my life was The Compound Factor. It's called The Compound Effect. And it's by Darren Hardy. And it really talks about doing the little things every single day that lead to big results. And so it's the little things. It's the little things in your business. It's the little things in your health, the little things in your relationships, the little things in your, you know, daily rituals that are going to lead to big results. And so that's one of the first books that I read, and it really changed how I viewed success. It's not overnight. There's no one hitting the lottery being successful, and the people who do hit the lottery aren't successful. And so, you know, just putting in the work every single day. Some of the people that I love to listen to are Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk. I love Sarah Blakely. There's just so many great people out there that give really, really good advice. And so, you know, continue to learn from those people. I think that YouTube videos are amazing. I love certain podcasts. So, you know, for me, I'm very spiritual. So I do have that side of me. I love reading spiritual things and listening to, you know, spiritual, you know, preachers and stuff like that. So for me, that's where I get a lot of my inspiration, my drive, and my values. So that for me is really big as well.
Oh, nice. So you're really always in connection with new inspiration, sounds like. So Amanda,
Yes.
together with your husband, Nicals, you are running also live events. As far as I know, it's basically for businessmen. Can you tell us a little bit about the live events, how to attend them, and what would also be another option for a businesswoman listening right now?
Yeah, so we have events every single year. We do local things as well if you are in, Southern California. And it's called Billion Dollar Body Live. You can check out the website. We have incredible speakers come in and speak. We had Jay Abraham, who he actually travels probably to Germany a lot and speaks, and China and all these Asian countries as well. We've had just incredible people come in and take this stage. And for us right now in our company, we're really focusing on businessmen because it's needed. It's actually empowering the businessman really empowers the businesswoman, because we're changing him to, be more grateful, to be more powerful, and to uplift all the people in his life, and have better relationships, and to serve his woman better. So the work that we're doing really does impact women. I have women come up to me all the time and say, thank you so much for my husband, my boyfriend being in your program. He's changed so much. He takes me on date nights every single week. He loves me so much better. So it's really amazing what we're doing with that. So our next event is going to be in San Diego sometime next summer. We haven't determined the exact date yet, but you can check it out on the website and just apply to come. And then for the businesswoman, I'd love to connect with you in our Facebook group, Billion Dollar Babes. And, eventually we'll have a women's meetup and maybe do a whole women's event. But at this point, my focus is really trying to build this, and then we'll focus on, the women's side. But I have so many great friends that put on incredible women's events that I get to speak at, which is incredible. So I love live events. I think it's really life-changing when you can get in a room and hear a speaker and connect with other attendees. Social media is great, but it doesn't give you the transformation like a live event.
Yes, you are so right with that, Amanda. So what would be the best way to connect with you?
The best way is through Instagram. If you are on Instagram, you can just follow me at Amanda Bayerle. And if you want to join the Billion Dollar Babes Facebook group, if you're a woman, if you are a guy, my husband has a Facebook group for men, and it is called the Billion Dollar Brotherhood. It's an incredible group of businessmen where they just all talk and connect. And so those are the two ways. If you want to get connected with me or my husband, what we do is through Instagram and inside of the Facebook groups, where our heart is to always provide value and motivation and, just help people as much as possible. And so if you enjoy this episode, I'd love to hear what you got from it. If you're, coming out here to Southern California, if you live out here, I'd love to know, and I can connect you to when we have our events.
Sounds really good. So I hope we two also meet in person one day. So I just came back from the United States, and I'm hoping to be there again soon again. So I have a lot of friends in San Diego, and you're right. It's really a nice area, pricey, but really nice. And I heard that a lot of people prefer San Diego over LA.
Yes, it's true. LA is very, very crazy with traffic, and it's not very clean, and it's very busy. San Diego's a little bit slower paced.
That is true. And you're also close to Mexico, right? With beautiful beaches.
Yes. Yeah. Mexico is about an hour away from me. And so, yeah, my husband went to Mexico growing up like every single weekend.
So I would say, Amanda, you are really a magician because you did everything right. You created a beautiful house with a beautiful man in a beautiful location, and you have a beautiful mission helping all these businessmen to become the best version of their selves. So thank you so much for being on the Pure Mind Magic podcast today. And I would love to stay in touch with you and maybe bring you even back for another episode.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I'm honored to be on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you feel inspired as I do after this interview with Amanda Bayerle. Maybe check out her podcast and get even more inspiration. And don't forget, I have this link for you for the online platform where you can get all the jobs done to be even more productive and create more magic in your life. And because unfortunately I couldn't find the time this week to create a midweek motivation for you, I have a special interview coming up tomorrow on Saturday for you. I found this inspirational woman almost by accident, found out that she is doing a virtual summit next week in September, and I had one of her speakers on the interview here at Pure Mind Magic, and so I did some research around her and thought she is really interesting, and I would love to talk to her and give you a look behind the scenes concerning the virtual summit that is called Life by Design, Not by Default. So you can expect a lot of secrets all around the mindset, and she has more than 45 handpicked speakers who will teach you all around that. And the cool thing is it's actually for free. It's from September 12th to September 14, 2018. And tomorrow she will be on the show and we will talk completely about the summit, how she created it, and also her biggest struggle and what brought her to the position that she is now writing for Forbes magazine as well. So expect a lot of magic in this interview tomorrow. I hope you tune in. So today I can say until tomorrow, create some magic.